Rebecca, who is our amazing declutterer expert on Insight Timer. I love watching her lives, and I confess that I don't do a lot of the things that she talks about because I'm one of those people who gets overwhelmed easily. And I'm like, I decluttered one drawer this month. I'm good until next year. But I'm trying to get better about that. And the more I watch you, Rebecca, the more I learn. I was just telling my husband how amazing you are at folding underwear, and I want him to see that someday.
Yeah. And thank you so much, Violet, for hosting as well. And it's so great to, I never really quite know what's going to transpire during the sessions with Violet as well, because I'm like, oh, it's like kind of like a mystery box, right? It's like,
Mm.
what's going to happen? Who's going to be doing what as well? So I know that we've chatted with Samantha just now as well, a fellow teacher here at Insight Timer, and she says that she loves decluttering. I'm sure it's really similar to Melanie as well. I remember when Melanie was on the live too, she was like, oh, I declutter all the time. It's like my way of
Yes.
life. And Caitlin's also a regular and seasoned declutterer as well. So I'm excited to see what you're going to be working on today. And Jen, we haven't met yet. And so welcome and thank you so much for deciding to come on today. I'd love to also just hear about how your journey with decluttering as well, what you might be decluttering today. Are you
Yeah.
feeling
Well, thank you. Thank you to Violet for the invitation. And Rebecca, I'm very excited to see your work. I'm a teacher here on Insight Timer as well. I've been teaching on Insight for a long time. And I don't know, I'm feeling this impetus to really clear out for the spring. I was planning on moving. I'm not moving now, but I feel like my space still needs refreshed. And so I'm thinking about decluttering. Yes, my closet's always needed. Like that's always a thing. It's like a constant. But I'm also just here to like listen and absorb and try to get some of your energy because I'm one of those people that will pick something up and then put it down somewhere else and it doesn't have a home. And then things are all these different places. And it's fun, it's an adventure, but it's also very time consuming. So, yeah.
amazing? And thank you so much for sharing, Jen, because we are going to be talking about creating homes. So I have some demo items here today as well. And who else is feeling that energy of wanting to
I
clear?
I am definitely. I was saying before that I've been in this house for 11 years, and the only way I ever decluttered was because I lived in apartments a lot. And every
Mhm.
time I moved, which I moved every couple of years, I would clear stuff out. Now I've been here 11 years. The house was completely empty for a long time, and I started collecting. Thank you, Caitlin, for giving me that word. I was like, I started hoarding. She's like, collecting. I started
Yeah.
collecting a lot of things and
Yes.
filled up the house. And now I'm like, I feel more than ever, especially this year, I need to like free up my space again. And I want to be able to breathe again and not be like, there's too much stuff over there, or there's dust in the corner that I can't reach. So
Mhm. Yeah, I
absolutely.
love that. And it's following that energy so it becomes inspired action as well. And yeah, I also love to just let's just go around and just hear we're here where everyone's at. Like so Samantha, you before we went live, you were mentioning that oh, you already started decluttering this morning as well. So if you want to share more about your relationship with it or and what you're teaching here on Insight Timer and what you're planning on doing today, that'll be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hi, everybody. For those that don't know me, again, I'm a teacher here at Insight Timer as well, and I do meditation. And so, I used to do a lot of cluttering in the past. I spent about 12 years in Baltimore, and when we were trying to move up to Boston here on the East Coast in the United States, we had a ton of stuff. There was boxes put in closets. A lot of the stuff was not even touched in that time in there. And that was when I kind of realized that there was stuff that probably was keeping for a long time that I did not need to. And that's when my relationship with decluttering kind of opened up of we moved into this really open space and there's really not places to put it. And so it kind of became almost like a game with me. I've been in Boston now for 8 years of being a little bit more fun. And so, as Rebecca was saying, for example, I just don't like having stuff around me anymore. And so, for example, this week it's been really busy at work. I do hybrid work, so I have an office at home and also going in, but I had boxes laying around my office. And so, end of the week here on the weekend, I'm decluttering my office again and putting everything away. And then I thought, oh wow, I could have done this on the on our live today. But instead, what I'm going to do is one of our closets is kind of almost like a winter closet. We shove our coats in there and just extra things. If we don't have time to do it, we don't want to think about it, we do have things shoved in there. And so I'm going to focus on that. That's why I have my phone today instead of my laptop that I usually do lives in. So that's why it's kind of everywhere today. So I apologize if you do see me moving around in weird ways today.
That's awesome, Samantha. Thank you so much for sharing. And I love that you and Jen are both setting that intention for a closet refresh as well, especially now that we are officially in spring, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Although I am in Scotland, so sometimes it still gets cold. So I'm just like, make up your mind. I don't want to wear
Yeah.
here anymore. And then let's move on to Caitlin, our Insight Timer's resident fiber artist.
Hi. All right. I made my notes. So, hey friends, for those of you who know me, you will know I like to write these letters to you. They help keep me focused while being a little shy. For those of you who don't know me, hi, I'm Caitlin Lojo. I'm a mindful crochet artist in the Hudson Valley, New York. Crochet lights up my soul. It is a balm for all the things. And once I figured out I had married it with my mindful practices, with my craft, I fell further in love. On Insight Timer, I host what I call my crochet circle. I host a live and crochet, and all the friends just drop in and hang out for as long as they are able. Some friends craft, some friends clean, some friends work, some just enjoy the space, and everyone is welcome. So this is my second time here on with the wonderful Violet here on Ask Your Guides. I'm so pleased and thrilled to be here today. This is also my second time live with Rebecca, and the first time was a blast. I'm very much looking forward to hanging out with everybody today and purging my email inbox at the same time.
That is so good, Caitlin. I'm feeling your energy and thank you so much. And Caitlin also comes to the lives regularly as well. And yeah, just an amazing human being. Everyone needs to check out her crochet creations because they are mind blowing. I'm like, how does your mind work to create such beautiful creations too? So that's something definitely to check on Caitlin's profile as well. And we'll go to Robin. Oh, SummaStar.
Hi, everyone. I'm SummaStar, and thank you, Violet, for inviting me and Rebecca. And it's great to meet new friends and see Caitlin again. Um, my plan today has changed. I did a little pivot. I was going to do my winter coats, but because I have a mess on my folding palette, which is my bed, I'm going to organize my bed and pack an overnight bag for a little getaway. So maybe I'll do the coats next time. We'll see what happens, how quick I get through the packing.
Ooh, love that. And then you're setting that intention for it's also you're not only tidying, but then you're also preparing for a trip that you're looking forward to.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah.
You're welcome.
And last but not least, Violet, I know you're wrangling a lot of tech as well. So
So
also
how funny that you said that, SummaStar, because I'm doing the same thing. I was in my
Oh,
closet trying to figure out what to do, and then I thought my weekend bag. Ever since my granddaughter was born a month ago, I have been spending a lot of weekends in Pennsylvania. So I have a bag that's like my go-to, but I have filled it with so much stuff that I barely have room to put clothes in. So I'm like, I'm carrying around things in this weekend bag that I never use. So I need to go through it and declutter it and then organize myself better because I don't want to have to, I'm there almost every weekend now. I don't want to have to think about what I'm bringing. I just want to throw in some clothes and go. So SummaStar and I, we have the same objective. I love it. Plus, I'm going to be, like now I want to take like a bathing suit because we're taking my grandson to the pool. And I'm like, I need a little separate bag with
Mhm.
just the swim stuff because we don't always do that. So yes, I love it. Love that.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. And it's like your grab and go bag, right? So that you can
Yes,
focus on what matters most, which is spending time with your loved ones and your grandbaby as well.
exactly.
Um, but yeah, even swim stuff too, putting it into a wet bag is so handy too. So then it's all compartmentalized, right? It's like what Samantha and Jen were talking about too. It's like we create a home for everything, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. And it just makes our mind so much happier too. I'm also just looking through, yeah, the chat as well. So for people who are here, joining in, I'll be keeping, I'll be doing my best to keep up with the chat as well. So for friends who
Yeah.
are
I was gonna
clutter,
say I gotta say that the expert at keeping up with chat is Melanie, and she's in the audience. So we don't have I am not good at keeping up with chat.
yeah, no worries. And I have it here on my screen here. So I have my second one here. So anyone who is decluttering with us today, because I'll be timing you guys too. So we'll do it in 25-minute sprints, and anything that comes up along the way, feel free to ask. But also, if you're here to listen, that's also perfectly fine. Just come and hang out too, because that's also an action. You don't have to feel obliged that you need to be decluttering. Or if you feel like, oh, you know what, I'm going to be doing the dishes, whatever it might be, or it might be doing some digital decluttering, like how Caitlin had mentioned too. So I think what we can do is let's maybe, let me just see. Can you hear me, Jessica? Ooh, they said that can't hear Rebecca. It's very garbled. Can barely hear Rebecca. Violet had the best sound. Uh, ooh, there's something weird with my mic. Should I try to turn it off? Okay. How about if I try with another mic as well? Sorry, guys. Let's just try to, thank you for your patience. Let's try to troubleshoot. So let's see if this will go well.
Yeah, it's very strange too, because it says I have an excellent internet connection. Everything is exactly the same. I was the only one without static, huh?
Thanks so much, Jessica. How does this sound now? How is this sounding? Is it better? Is there still static? Okay, so I'm using another mic now. So hopefully this will help. All right,
Sounds
cool.
clear to
Thank you
me.
so much. Okay. Um, okay, so maybe we can just get started with a little grounding meditation as well, just to settle us in. So if you guys can get into your preferred position, whether it's sitting, standing, or even lying down, let's take a moment to just settle into this space together. Feeling that cool air entering your nose and filling up your body. Feeling that joy of being connected with friends from all over the world. Feeling the excitement of working together and turning it into inspired action. Let's just take a moment to just tune into any areas of tension that you might be holding in any part of your body. Maybe it's between your eyebrows, your jaws, your shoulders. And with every breath you take, just give it permission to rest and loosen up, moving through your body, your chest, your stomach, your joints and your fingers, your toes. Allow yourself to breathe deeper into those areas where we typically don't realize that we're holding tension. And fill those areas up with joy.
Infuse your body with gratitude for everything that it does for you, how it carries you through your days, day in and day out. And with a heart full of gratitude, let's bring to the mind's eye the area that we want to be focusing on today. Whether it be joy checking our winter wear, preparing a joyful grab and go bag for trips, digital decluttering, maybe it's some household chores that you wanted to get done, or simply listening and soaking up the energy of friends here. Bring that task to your mind and envision yourself completing or getting as far as you can with joy and flow. It's not a race. It's all about making meaningful progress. Now let's take 2 more cleansing breaths here. Breathing in through the nose, filling yourself up with that cool air and holding it at the top. And parting your lips and sighing it out. And one more here. Breathing in through the nose, holding it at the top, parting your lips and sighing it out. And giving yourself a gentle smile to shine out onto all your friends here. Let's bring some gentle movement back into our bodies as we flutter our eyes open and land back into the space together. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm excited. So what we're going to be doing is based on the KonMari method. So I'm a certified KonMari consultant. I've been teaching on Insight Timer for, gosh, 1.5 years now. And I host live decluttering sessions as well. So, and that's on a weekly basis. And what I will do is, and I'm curious as well, have you guys heard of the KonMari method before? Jen or Samantha?
I have not.
Oh, okay, nice. I love that. So we have like a mix, right? I know SummaStar, Caitlin, Violet have, and also I saw the thumbs up from Samantha as well. So it's wonderful to hear. So it is a mindful approach to decluttering. And it's founded by Marie Kondo, and she actually has written about 12 books, and she also has her own Netflix show as well. And her book is actually called, here we go, I actually have it, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. And why I'm showing this is because I'm actually on my dining table right now, and I work from like all various places. I think because in human design terms, I'm a manifesting generator. So it can feel like I'm a little bit all over the place, but this is my solution. This is my mobile office. So I have an office in the box. And it leads into what we're doing today, because when we create a home for everything, then our minds will thank us for it. Our future self will thank us for it, because that's actually where our the hippocampus actually stores where everything, it's for the long-term memory. So when you create a home, it becomes designated. That means that your mind will feel more at ease. You're not actually thinking, oh, where do I put it? If we keep on changing the homes of things, just like, with like house keys, right? If it goes from one place to another, then we can't actually remember, and it'll actually create more brain fog as well. So what this decluttering method will help with is also to expand our energy too, because who wouldn't want to have more expanded energy to do the things that we love? And it's also rooted in joy and gratitude too.
So what we're going to do is, I know that you guys have said that you want to do a little bit of closet refresh as well. So what's cool about this method is that, you're going to do it from this place of joy, gratitude, abundance. So typically when we go into a space, we're thinking about, what do I want to get rid of, right? And that's the negativity bias that's inside of our brains. But what we're doing here is we're going in by thinking about, what do I want to keep? Right. So actually, Caitlin, even with that too, with your emails as well, right? That it's like, okay, focusing on what do you want to keep, and then the rest, it's just so much easier to let go of. If we go in thinking about the negativity bias, then it doesn't create that it's not creating a benchmark of what you actually want to keep in your life. Then everything becomes, ooh, maybe just in case. Then our decisions become more driven by fear. So that this is very much like a love-based approach. So then we just have to go about it with, like, if you start with okay, this is my favorite, this is a definite keeper, this I definitely need as well. It creates that stability inside of our heart space. And then we're just like, okay, the other things that are like, okay, it was that in that maybe zone becomes so much easier to let go. And then what we're also going to do is, when we let go of something, we reflect on it too. So I'm going to use my kids' clothes as an example here. So let's say, for example, oh, we don't want this anymore. So instead of this going into a donation bag, we reflect on it. There's that mindful pause of, why do we not want this in our life anymore? And then, so it might sound like, oh, you know what? I really love natural fiber, I don't want to wear something synthetic. It can be as simple as that. Or it could be, oh, you know what? This color doesn't suit me. So thank you so much. It always goes back to the gratitude. So then this becomes actually a brain training. So we're thanking every item. And this is all part of Marie's philosophy as well. We have to thank everything, even the things that we might have had buyer's remorse. Maybe I bought this because I thought it was a good deal. It was like a buy 3 for the price of 2 or something. And it was like, oh, you know what? Thank you so much. I realized that I don't need to feed into those consumption patterns. Right. So then this is actually what changes. The thank you, the gratitude, the reflection is what changes our future purchasing behavior. And I am someone who's a reformed shopaholic. So I can attest to this. When I was able to reflect on all the fast fashion purchases, I was like, you know what? I want to be able to support, I want to be able to support, independent designers, right? I rather support circular fashion. Even if I am going to buy fast fashion brands, I want to make sure that I'm not buying it directly from the company. So then these are all when we take that mindful pause and the introspection, then it will, it'll create the spaciousness to guide us in how we want to behave as well. So I know that, yeah, Caitlin, you're going to be working on your email today as well. Yeah. And then Samantha and Jen, I know you guys are working on your closet as well. So I hope that these kind of tips, let me know if you have any questions as well, before I get the clock on.
No questions. I think this is amazing. And part of what I teach is actually writing and coming up with story ideas. And I'm already thinking wow, if I'm reflecting on where things are coming from, that will probably bring up stories for me. So I'm super excited.
Yeah. And you know what's so cool as well, Jen? It's because if we go deeper into it, if you sit in the stillness, sometimes it's oh, scarcity mindset is coming up. Sometimes it's intergenerational, and then we can also reflect on hey, this is actually passed down from my grandparents or whoever. And that's where we're able to make these conscious choices of oh, you know what? I can put that to rest, right? So these are all things to kind of tune into as we're going into it, because sometimes our, the voices of the past will come back. Yeah. And Samantha, how about for you?
Yeah, no, I don't have any questions about it, but I think you bring up some really good points because, um, taking even just that second to think about, like, sometimes I think we just rid of things so fast because we think that we need to, and then we go back and think about, like, oh, later, some of the things like our clothing and stuff, because we have those ideas in our head, like, well, someday, like, I'll fit in that again, or, you know, when we never really will wear it again. But if
Mhm.
we attach to it why we're actually getting rid of it for some of the reasons that what you talked about, it'll make much more sense to us and we won't have those regrets for doing it later.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And then, I think it really helps as well to, and this is all about emotional readiness, right? So you have to tune into it. And this actually will sharpen your intuition too, because it's also honoring you're like, oh, I'm not ready to let this go yet, but I know it's like coming towards that stage of like having served its purpose, but I'm not quite ready. And that's okay. You hold space for yourself and then you can put it somewhere, like, we're creating a home as well, and then you can revisit it. So the joy checking can happen continuously. And I know that, Samantha, you're a big joy checker as well, and you do your regular decluttering too. Yeah. And yeah, before we get started, I wanted to just like ask, like, Robin, do you have SummaStar, do you have anything else that you would like to add in as well? Oh, you're muted.
Okay, I was trying to get it unmuted. Um, what I was going to share is what I'm doing now, because I have so many pieces of clothing and I'm abundantly blessed. After I wear an outfit I haven't worn, I ask myself, does it bring me joy?
Mm.
And then just give it away if I say no. Like I had an outfit I wore 2 days ago. I bought it for a trip probably 5 years ago, and I don't really wear it, and I have a whole bunch more to to wear. So that's what I'm going to donate. So I'm just kind of going to go through my wardrobe like that because I have so many friends that like to share, and then I like to say yes. So I'm going to just share back.
Amazing. And okay, just for context as well, SummaStar, it has been part of the amazing community for so long now. And she's actually, you started your KonMari journey about just over a year ago, right? Because you were
It was
moving.
around February, and I've moved now, will be 11 months,
Yeah.
and I'm still decluttering. I wish I could be like some of your clients that do the closet in a day, but that's not happening with me.
And and then this goes back to we're honoring our timeline, right? Like, because like, I've worked with people who need like 20 hours to do closets, but I also have worked with people, they're like, oh, 30 minutes, I'm done with my entire closet. And so I love this method because it's very attuned to holding space for you wherever you are at in your journey. Because there are some people where it's like, they've never decluttered before and they got decades to go through, right? Yeah. And yes, so I'm excited. So thank you so much for being here as our guest too. And Caitlin as well.
I'm ready. I don't know. I'm ready. I have like over 900 unread in the one inbox. So I'm going to just tackle it. See how
And
far we get.
are you planning on also unsubscribing as well?
Probably, because I
Yeah.
just saw a new feature in my email. They got updated and it
Yeah.
manages a list of my subscriptions. So I
Ooh.
can easily unsubscribe now. I
Yeah.
just
Oh,
saw that.
that's awesome, Caitlin. So it's like, you can unsubscribe and then you can search for that name, right? As well. And then everything is like gone in one fell swoop. So that is awesome. I need to do it too. So thank you for inspiring. I'm gonna put it on my to-do list for this week. And Violet, I think you're gonna be our tech maven today, or are you gonna do a little bit of something?
I'm probably going to be focusing on the tech. I am going to try to do a little, I mean, I have the bag sitting next to me. I'm going to try to do a little bit of something, but
Yeah.
I get easily distracted and I'm like, I got to focus.
Okay, you know what? And don't worry, Violet, because I will be keeping time, so I can also look at the chat as well.
And then so you can get something done too. Like let's
Okay.
use like at least one sprint to see how far. And I think it'll surprise you. A lot of times we're just like, wow, that took no time at all, you know?
Yeah.
And like, how long have I been thinking about it? Okay, so without further ado, all right, guys, I'm putting on the timer. So I'm putting on the timer for 25 minutes. So let's go. Let's do this. And feel free to unmute, ask questions if you have any questions along the way. And I'm just
I would like to address
Mhm.
Delia. I hope I'm saying your name right. Delia wrote, I still live in the illusion that I'm going to lose weight and be able to get in
Oh.
those gorgeous clothes. Meanwhile, I have clothes everywhere that I actually use. Can I tell you that I have been up and down in my weight so many times in my lifetime that I can relate to that? And for many years, I did the same thing. I kept clothes that I was hoping I'd wear again.
Yeah.
Finally, what I did was I packed them up. I
Mhm.
donated them and I felt good donating them to like a good cause, like a women's group or something. It was a pantry that helps, women and children.
Mhm.
And I said to myself, you know what? If I lose weight, these clothes have been around so long, I'm going to want something new anyway. I'll buy something new. And that's a hard one. Like I absolutely get that the not wanting to give this, what if it fits again, or it was so pretty, or whatever. But Rebecca, I know you have a lot of good advice on that one.
Oh, yeah. No, thank you so much for sharing your experiences too, because, this is the purpose of having this space, right? Because a lot of it's not easy to let go, and we're not taught how to let go. And especially when it comes to clothing as well. Um, it's like there's so many layers that's added to it. Our culture or society, whoever it is that told us that this is how we're supposed to look, right? And especially as women, because our bodies change, our incredible bodies change quite a lot through all the chapters of life, right?
And talking about culture too, like I came from, like my parents did not have a lot of money for clothes, so we didn't buy a lot of things. So
Mhm.
that for me has been the hardest thing, is to let go of something that I paid for, because I think there was a time when I couldn't have afforded this, like there's always that fear, like what if I give stuff away and then I don't have money to buy,
Yeah.
something new.
Yeah, and then there is that it's like really holding space for that shame, because there's also buyer's remorse as well, but it's the energy, because it doesn't bring us joy. So it goes back to the philosophy of everything in your home, you should be surrounded by joy, you know? So that's why the whole concept is about sparking joy. And the more we can define what brings us joy, and then how to let go of what no longer brings us joy, which is through the power of gratitude. Right? Like, so Violet, like how you had mentioned as well, it's like, thank you so much for those life experiences, because that means that I'm going to be more intentional
Absolutely.
about how I purchase. Right. And then
And
we're
I,
able, yeah.
And I also think to myself, maybe the person who is getting this donation could really use it. And there was a time in my life when that could have been me, and I appreciate that. Like that energy makes me feel better letting go.
Yeah, and it's the power of giving and generosity. So that's also another attitude of mindfulness, and it's one of my favorite. And I have so many people who's coming back and they tell me, they're like, "Oh my gosh, Rebecca, I'm obsessed with giving now." I've been holding on to things for far too long, but being able to link up with the right people who need it, whether it's charity shops or directly through, all the different platforms nowadays where we can share so easily. And you're just
My
like,
daughter-in-law turns me on to those buy nothing groups, and I love that because now that's what I do. I just post things,
"Hmm,
neighbors come, I leave it out on my front steps in bags, and neighbors just come and take it away. I love it.
isn't it amazing?" And you're just like, you physically and emotionally and spiritually, you feel lighter as well. It's out of your mental space. It's not just your physical space.
Yeah,
So
I've also met some really cool neighbors that way. I'm in the woods, so we're not too close to each other. It's hard to meet people. And I've actually met some great people that way because they've come over to get stuff, and I've
yeah,
stood outside and talked to them for like an hour. I found a dog walker in the neighborhood that way. It's awesome.
I love that so much. Yeah, and that is the power of connection, right?
Mhm.
And nowadays too, it's just like so much harder. I don't know. I feel like it's it's never been easier to meet people, but it still requires effort. And that's why I love you so much, Violet, for creating the space for everyone to actually connect. And like, everyone's excited. It's like, oh, see SummaStar in the flesh,
Thank you. And I'm a bit of a
Yeah.
hermit. I'm a bit of a hermit. I'm definitely an introvert and I'm a bit of a hermit. So when I meet people this way, when they come to the house and I start talking to them, like that's such a good experience for me, for someone who keeps to myself. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot of benefits.
Yeah. It's also micro connection, right? So it's like you're gaining so much just from getting rid of something.
Yes, absolutely.
Outweigh it for sure. And yeah, okay, I'm also yeah, and Jessica's giving some great advice as well. Yeah, they're so good, right? Like Buy Nothing and all these, different platforms too. I love donating to them. Like I've had clients where they were clearing out their crafting, their crafting cupboard, and we were able to make sets, and then donate them. And people were just so happy because they would have never otherwise been able to take up this hobby that they're interested in because it costs money, right?
Right,
So
right.
yeah. And
Well, one of the other things too that my daughter-in-law told me, because I will sometimes, always on this health quest, will buy like protein shakes and all these things, and then I don't like them, and
yes,
I don't want to throw them out. And she said to me, put them on the buy nothing list. The stuff is unopened, people will come get it. And I was like, you think so? And sure
yeah.
enough, they did. I've
Mhm.
given away like I've purchased like bagels, that healthy bagels that I didn't like, and all kinds of stuff. And I feel so much better to not
Yes.
be throwing it away. I'm like, all right, so I tried it. I didn't like it. Somebody else can benefit. I have to admit, living in the woods too, a lot of stuff, old food, I will throw out on the deck because we have wildlife here. And I'm like, the birds may want to eat this. but
Yeah.
but giving it, like the things like the protein shakes and things that I didn't
Mhm.
like to
Yeah.
people who in the neighborhood who were like, yeah, I'll take it. I was like, oh, great. This is great. I don't feel so bad that I spent money on it.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, and it goes back to your core. Like for me, like I have really dislike food waste. That's one of my pet peeves. And then it goes into like, because we don't want to waste resources too, right? But I was also just imagining, I was like, oh, Violet, what if you gave all the protein shakes to the birds? Like you'll have some like really buff birds.
Yeah. Yeah, my aunt down the hill puts out bagels all the time. And I'm like, you're making the deer insulin resistant. Stop doing that.
Oh, but it's amazing. It's like when like it's that quote, right? Like one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Yes.
So true. Okay, I see that SummaStar has a question.
Yeah, it was just a comment. In one of your other lives, you were talking about shushing a space,
Yes,
which
yes,
I can see the pluses and minuses.
yes.
And it hit me that I've been doing shushing for many years.
Mm-hmm,
So I
mm-hmm.
have these shush bags and boxes of stuff I've put somewhere and then
Yeah.
going back through them. So that's actually the point of my journey I've gotten to, where I'm going through
Mm,
those shush boxes. And it's taking less time than I think because it's also old,
yeah.
and it could even be stuff when I cleared out my car and I just put it in a bag and then I didn't throw the bag away because I thought it was important. So
Mm,
just sharing with that, I thought of it when the one friend had said they don't want to throw their clothes away because they may
yes.
still want to wear them. So you
Yeah.
could possibly shush them in a
Yeah.
way. I did it for my summer clothes. And
Mm-hmm.
so now, because my closet space is so small, I can actually go through my closet and the winter stuff I didn't wear, I
Mm-hmm.
can get it out and look at those shushes and put my summer in and just keep like scaling down each time.
Yeah. Oh, that's such beautiful advice, Robin. And it is like it, I think you need to hold yourself accountable, right? You're like, yes, I am. It's not just gonna sit in a corner, but then when you revisit it after some time has passed, you're like, oh, okay, like the emotional attachment has lessened.
Yes.
Yeah, and I can see in the background your bed is all made as well. So
Yes.
you've touched it and sorted it.
Thank
So
you.
and you're working on your weekend bag, right?
Yes. That's my
Awesome.
next step.
Yay. You've already you've primed the space to do it. Exactly. Yay. Okay. And then
Thank you so much, guys. You know, this is also why I love the Insight Timer community so much, because we're all so supportive of, you know, one another as well. And then I see everyone is supporting, like Claudia and Delia as well, to be able to give some amazing suggestions. So thank you, Jessica, as well, and everyone. Yeah, Emma too, of all the support. Yeah. Yeah, it's not easy, especially when it is sentimental, right? And so this is also, I think this is a good segue to just talk about why the KonMari method is so different as well, because we don't go room by room, right? So we're also going category by category. And I know for friends who have been on my live before, I really drill it in because I'm like, I want this to be embedded in your mind too. And so we have 5 categories in total. So we start from clothing first, books next, paper, and then this is kimono, which is a mixed bag. It's like kimono is everything that is not clothing, books, or paper. So imagine your garage items, your kitchen items, your seasonal items, so on and so forth, kitchen, like cleaning products, etc. And then last but not least is your sentimental item. So if we go into either of these last 2 categories first, because a lot of times people say, oh, I want to do my kitchen first, or oh, I want to declutter my garage. You're actually not setting yourself up for success, because it's one of the higher intensity, if not the highest intensity categories, and sentimental as well. So just like how Claudia was mentioning too, you know, if we go straight into, you know, kids' artwork or things that are heirloom items, then we're not quite there yet with the emotional readiness. And it's just going to feel tiring because there's the decision fatigue that happens.
Rebecca, is that list, because I think that list is awesome. I remember you shared it with us last time. Is that available on your site?
It is. I have it under free resources.
Awesome. Because that list is so helpful, because I never thought about that. Like, I have a tendency to start tackling the most overwhelming area. Yes. And then I just stop. So that's a great suggestion. I love that.
So if we zoom into it, you know, so clothing, and I'm so glad that, you know, Samantha and Jen are working on clothing today, because it is typically the easiest category. I also have another theory behind it, because our skin is our largest organ, and this method is all about what sparks joy for you. So as a recovering people pleaser, I'm a highly sensitive person and an empath as well. I feel like most of my life has always been living in accordance to other people, to please them and to make them happy, or how I felt like I should look or show up. So this method really helps you to reclaim your joy and what you want to put on your body. You know, you get to make a decision on it. It's like, if that doesn't feel comfortable, why are you tolerating it? So then this goes into what sparks joy for you. What do you actually want to wear? You know, how do you want to show up? And it always goes back to the present moment. So it's thinking about, does this represent who I am now and who I am becoming? We can honor the past, but we also don't have to live in the past. So those are just some things to keep in mind. And I want to also just hang out with the audience as well, like while we are, you know, we have about 10 minutes left of the sprint too. So I just want to also just go over the principle of the KonMari method, because one of the first steps actually isn't to just dive in and get started. It's to really think about what do you want to say if you had more space in your life, whether that's mentally or physically. What do you want to say yes more to? If you could have more freed up space, more freed up energy, what do you want to do more of? How do you want your space to support you? How do you want to feel in it too? So I typically have a lot of people who often say, you know, I want to feel calm. I don't want to feel stress in my home. I want to be able to host spontaneous dinner parties, right? Or, oh, I want to start a book club. Maybe it's transforming your spare room into an art room. So for people who are here, have a think about it and just envision yourself. Allow yourself to dream about how you want your space to support you.
I love that. You know, I'm not one to enjoy people dropping by, which fortunately, again, living in the woods, no one just drops by. But whenever I lived someplace that was easily accessible, you know, that was always like, oh my gosh, somebody's coming over. I got to clean up. I got to declutter. You know, it would be nice to not have to worry about that and just be like, oh yeah, you know, come on over without me spending, you know, 20 minutes hiding everything.
Yeah, yeah. And then Violet, you also have your grandbabies too, right? So it means that it's like having space for them. For like think about future sleepovers as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And Cecilia, I'm just looking at the chat now. Cecilia said Reiki room, art displays as well to showcase her beautiful artwork, you know, and I think that's awesome because especially now that Cecilia is going to gain back space with her as being an empty nester. You know, sometimes becoming an empty nester can feel sad, but actually what you're doing now is you're infusing that joy. You're like, I'm reclaiming space, and you know, you can create that Reiki room that you're dreaming of. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, have a think about these, guys, because this is actually a really pivotal step in the KonMari process. Because when we are able to align ourselves to what truly matters, the heart of the matter, how you want your space to support you, and also, you know, having fun, envisioning. How do you visualize this space supporting you? It can even be from an aesthetic point of view. You're like, oh, I want to have like, you know, oh, I want to have like trees in the background, like how Violet has. I want to put more of my favorite color. Right? Yeah. So these are all things to consider. Yes. Yeah, exactly. So and Cecilia also says that, yes, it is, she's coming from a place of joy. And this is important. So thank you so much for sharing.
You know, it's funny because when we go away on the weekend, I get a hotel, and you know, you walk into the hotel and everything's nice and neat and clean. And then I come back home and I'm like, oh, the clutter. I want my space when I walk in the door to feel like I do. I mean, I'm happy that I'm home because I love my home, but it's like the clutter. I want it to look like it does. Not, I mean, not like a hotel because they're completely empty, but you know, I just don't want to see so much stuff when I walk in the door.
Yeah. Oh, I love how you brought that up, Violet, as well, because, you know, getting that hotel vibes, that is totally something to work towards, but except it's filled with your own stuff.
Right.
And one of the reasons why people love going to hotels is because you step in and there is a sense of order. Everything has a home. You know where to put your suitcase. You know where to put, like, you know, your toothbrush, your toiletries, your clothes. And so that actually creates that sense of calm within us. So I've actually, you know, like I've actually heard of people before, they actually want recreating that hotel vibe. So they've created that, you know how like in hotels you have like your coffee machine and everything. So they actually put that into their bedroom. They created like a little coffee nook or a tea station nook. Yeah.
I would love that. I'm a huge coffee fan. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cute, right? So it's like you can like create that, like, oh, it's like almost like, oh, you wake up, you can pretend like you're in a hotel, you can make yourself that calm cup of coffee. Yeah. And then Emma, yes, said that clothing is the hardest category for me because it is memorabilia. Yeah. And I want to address this. So thank you so much, guys, for bringing this up. Like, I know that this is best practice in terms of like from easiest to hardest. But I have worked with people, for example, who are in the fashion industry. So clothing was the hardest category for her. She just couldn't do it. So I was like, okay, we can bypass clothing. And then we went into books. You know, and for some people, books might be the hardest as well, right? So really, it really goes back to like being able to follow your intuition as well. And then being able to follow through and go back to it too. So the method is actually really, there's so much elegance in its simplicity.
So if you see here, guys, I don't know if you guys can see. Okay, you probably can't see because we're really small right now. But even within, this is the clothing category that's zoomed in.
Oh, you know what? Let me make you spotlight, because then that will let people see what you're doing. I forget I have that option.
Oh, it's okay. Don't, yeah. But yeah, in the meantime, I'll just chat about it. Okay, here we go. Thank you. Okay, so you can see here, then it means that there's subcategories. These are all subcategories here. So from tops to coats to shoes to jacket to winter wear. And what you can do is, if you feel really overwhelmed by the clothing category, then you can choose to do one subcategory. You know, like what feels easiest to you. Maybe for some people, it's like, okay, shoes feels the easiest. Then I'm just going to do my shoes today, right? Like, how does that feel in your body? Instead of saying, like, I have to do my entire closet, then it's, okay, I'm just going to do my socks today. I'm going to do, or even here, for example, right? This is also something that I want to share with you guys. So let me share with you. Okay. So let me put this here as well, because I'm trying to not show. Okay, so you do see here, this is the file folding method, and this is all swimwear, right? So if I were to joy check this, it's just very easy to be like, okay, Sparks Joy, ooh, this one can probably wear one more season. Sparks Joy, and then, oh, you know what? I think I'm ready to let this go. This has served this purpose. Thank you so much. So do you see how the joy checking, if we set the foundation right for it, then it can take literally seconds, just like how I showed you just now. Now, on the other hand, okay, let's just do it.
Okay, Rebecca, I have a question for you. When it
Okay.
comes to joy checking, I love that, and I've done
Yeah.
it. My problem is I tend to linger a little too long. I'll look at it, I'll
Oh,
reminisce.
yeah.
You know, all those nice feelings start coming back, and that's
Yeah.
where I spend too much time. Where
Oh.
I'm like, all right, I'm taking too long. I want to do
Okay.
this quicker.
Okay, that's such a great question, Violet. I'm so glad that you raised this as well. Okay, and also for friends who are sprinting and decluttering, you have 4 minutes left of the sprint. Okay, so let's go. Thanks, Caitlin. Okay, so Violet, your question is so right. And what you can do, this is also an exercise to sharpen your intuition. So if it's not a full body yes, if it's not a hell yes, then put it into a maybe pile. So everything that you're going through in the clothing, you're just like, okay, does it represent who I am now and who I'm becoming, right? Like, okay, I definitely see myself wearing this in the future. If I can't keep this with confidence, I'm going to put it into the maybe pile.
I love that you said that too. Does it represent who I am now and who I'm becoming? Because I was just thinking, as you said, I have so many clothes in my closet that I haven't worn that definitely don't represent who I am now. And when I look at it that way, I'm ready to let them go.
Yes, yes. And it is, right? It's a little bit of like, we can celebrate the past and then also just remembering that, okay, it doesn't have to be. I think a lot of times there is an element of grief around it, but then there's also the remembrance that, like, no, those are all parts of me. It's all part of that beautiful tapestry that makes you who you are. You don't need those, you don't need the memento to keep the memory. Yeah, yeah. So Delia says, yeah, it's an emotional trip. Yeah, absolutely, for sure. So, like being able to honor yourself with that too. Yes. And Jessica says, when you go away, I always find it helpful to say, I wanted to feel good when I walk back in, when I get back, or if God forbid something happens to me when I'm away, people don't see my mess. Yeah. So that's also a really great way to, and that goes into the legacy decluttering too, because it is that radical act of love to think about like, oh, okay, like what if God forbid anything happens, will our loved ones be able to deal with our space?
Yes, after you said that during one of your lives, it got me thinking, like, I don't want my kids having to clean up all my junk. I want to do that before. So I love that.
Yes, yeah. So that's this is why it's like it's so far reaching, right? But we start small because we start thinking about like legacy decluttering as a whole with like wills and everything in place. It can paralyze us. Right. So then that's why I was like, hey, let's start with clothing, right? Okay. And then as we are just winding down our sprint here as well, and then before we go into the next one, I just want to share with you guys, right? So this is also why, like, okay, when we see this, how does that make you feel?
Overwhelmed.
Yeah. So imagine you open your drawer and it's like that. And this first thing in the morning, that's probably not going to inspire much. It'll probably be like, oh, it's Monday or something like that, right? And then on the other hand, if you open your drawer and you know you're not feeling the greatest, you might be feeling low energy, but if you open your drawer and you can see everything in one, this is
that.
the file folding method, right? So the file folding method, even when you do practical things like doing laundry, you just have to plop it back in. Like it's that easy. See how there's a space here? And then we just plop it back in. And Carrie says, wow, that's a visceral example.
Yes.
Yeah. And you feel it. It's in your body because when you see something like this, it actually will activate your cortisol levels. Okay, so for friends who are decluttering, that's your first sprint. So if you are on the computer, doing some digital decluttering, feel free to like rest your eyes as well. I actually just learned from my friend eye yoga recently. I don't know if you guys practice it, but I was like, oh, it was really cool. Like, you know, even just like if you imagine, if you close your eyes, but imagine you're looking 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, all the way around. It's so powerful. So
I haven't tried it, but I would like to because, you know, I spend all day staring at my computer and I get a lot of eye strain.
yeah, you know what? Like, why don't we just do like a mini one right now? And then we'll like jump into. Yeah, okay, cool, awesome. So let's just do like a little like eye reset for anyone who wants to follow along as well. Let's just do like a little eye reset and then we'll ask how everyone's going. How's it going for everyone before we do our final sprint of the day? Okay. So my friend just taught me this and I love it. So what we do is let's just gently close down our eyes, just connecting to our breath and the lovely energy of everyone. And with your eyes closed, let's gently look up towards 12 o'clock, like you're looking up towards the ceiling. And then bring your gaze back with your eyes closed still. And let's go to 1 o'clock. And then bringing it back to center. And let's go to 2 o'clock. And keep breathing gently as you go through this and bring it back. And let's go on to 3 o'clock. Back to center. 4 o'clock. Back to center. 5 o'clock. Back to center. And let's look at the tip of our nose for 6 o'clock. And back to center. 7 o'clock. Back to center. 8 o'clock. Back to center. Let's go to 9 o'clock. Back to center. 10 o'clock. Back to center. 11 o'clock. Back to center. And then 12 o'clock to wrap it up. Now you can bring some gentle movement to just flutter your eyes back into the space together. Yes. All right.
Okay, I hope you guys felt good from that as well. And I'd love to just ask how y'all are doing. I'm just gonna go from my screen from right to left. So Jen, would you like to share how it went for your first sprint?
Yeah, that was fantastic. And I realized that yesterday I was shopping and I almost bought a shirt that was exactly like a shirt I had in my closet. So I was like, "Oh, wow. I guess I'm going to keep this one because I still want it." I just determined that yesterday. Um,
It feels like shopping from your own home, right?
Right, because my closet was so densely packed that like I wasn't seeing certain things like certain like and also I thought I was low on hangers and I'm not low on hangers now. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
But that yeah, it was really good. I felt like I was with the time constraint too. I felt like I was really moving, like I wasn't overthinking. And yet, because I've always got that like writerly vibe, I did kind of get a few memories. And I'm thinking like, okay, this is something I can return to. So I think that could be a really cool like combo exercise is to do like a writing prompt purge in the future. So I'm excited about that. Anyway.
Keep us posted. We'd love to follow along on that journey too, Jen. Oh, amazing. And Samantha, how did the first sprint go for you?
It's going good. As I said, this is the one closet that I haven't been really purging, and that when we have things that we don't have time for, we just kind of shove in there. And so it's getting pretty full, and I'm finding stuff that I have forgotten that we have put in there. And so it's just kind of when I'm taking it out, falling out a little bit, and I'm looking in stuff, and I'm like, what is even in here? And so it's going good, and some of the stuff it doesn't even need to be donated. That it's like, oh, this can just be thrown right out, and then so I have like two different piles, donate and just thrown out, and I have a few that I'm gonna just kind of look over again, but I think a lot of it's not even gonna go back in the closet or anywhere with us. So
I love that. I can already feel that lightness as well,
mhm.
Samantha, as well. And then we all have that, okay? Like me, myself
Yeah,
included, we all got dumping grounds, right?
yeah.
I have like two
I
kids,
have a
so
question about the things that you throw out, because
yeah.
again, that mentality of having come from a place of lack, growing up, it's easy for me to donate. I love it. The
Mhm.
throwing out part for me is so hard. Like obviously I don't want to keep it if it's useless, but I
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
find myself struggling to find a purpose for the
Yeah.
thing I'm about to throw out because I feel so much guilt around throwing it away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, some of the stuff like I'm going through and it's like, say, like a scarf, but I'm looking at it and there's like a hole in it. And some of the stuff, like just reading through stuff in the past where you donated to like Goodwill or something, they can't actually put that stuff out. And so we're actually doing worse for them having to go through it. And so being conscious of that, because a lot of times people will, they're just like, oh, I don't need any of this and just give it to somebody else. So I don't want to make somebody else's job worse. But, I held on to it because I'm like, I used to love this. And
Yeah.
so making that detachment when I've worn it like 3,000 times and then just realizing, no, this really does have to go now. And so I'm putting it to rest.
Yes, yeah. I love that. And it's also like really no one's forcing you to get rid of
Hmm.
anything. I think that's like the main thing to remember as well. And
Yeah.
then even if I work with people privately, it's because people come into this assumption of like, oh, professional organizer means that they're gonna make me throw everything away. And that's not true. So it's all about like how you feel about it. I've had clients where they have like t-shirts with lots of holes on it, but super sentimental. I was like, okay, like it doesn't need to be in your primary wardrobe. Let's put it into a box,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then put it somewhere where when you feel ready, you can let it go. And just having
Yeah.
that choice, like I think it was just the next month, she was like, Rebecca, I got rid of those shirts,
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
um thank you so much for sharing. And Caitlin, how's your email Persian going? It's going well.
It is,
Awesome.
yes, it's going good. I got about half the unread ones purged already. So I've just been
Oh,
swiping. Yeah.
well done. Okay, I can't wait to see how far you get with next
Yeah,
sprint
and then
too.
to bring up sentimental stuff, I'm okay, but I hit the button and just went to like the end of the inbox and I
Yeah.
got emails from my dad. So I was like, oh, and then you
Oh,
called
yeah.
time. So I was like, okay,
Yes.
good. I don't
Yeah.
have to deal with that.
Oh, look at that divine timing, right? You're just like, okay, I
Yeah.
need a little break now. I need to take a moment. Oh,
So I'm
that's
gonna
sweet.
hit the forward button again so I don't have to see them quite yet because they could sit
Yeah.
there. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you're not. It's okay. And that's exactly what we're talking about. It's
Yep.
about emotional readiness, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful. And Robin, how's it going?
It's good. Right now, my bag was easy to pack, easier than I
Mhm.
thought. So what I did, I wanted to share the closet stuff that I said. It took me 6 trips probably to come out and bring all the coats. This is
Ooh,
coats, jackets, and sweaters.
yeah.
So it's a lot, and I went ahead and decided I'm going to tackle that because it has to be
Yes.
done. So
SummaStar,
that's
you're
what I'm going to
amazing.
do.
Yay. Okay, huge round of applause for SummaStar too. And I'm so glad because in the beginning you're like, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get to it. And look at you. You got it all out.
Yeah, it's got to be done, and it's so warm here. A lot of this is winter stuff, and I can just donate it.
Yes. Oh, it's perfect. It's gonna be, the charity shops will be so grateful for it, right?
Yes, and I have
Okay.
friends to share with.
Yay. Okay, so guys, without further ado, let's get to the next sprint. So are you guys feeling ready? Yeah. All right. Okay. The clock's on. Let's get started. Second sprint, 25 minutes. Let's go. Um, And yeah, and Violet, I also just wanted to address what you were saying earlier as well about when like donating it feels easy because you feel like you're giving it a second lease on life. But when it
Yes.
comes to like throwing, disposing, oh, it is hard. It is hard. And I think it's like multi-layer. It's not only your life experiences, but it's also we want to, and that's something to celebrate of ourselves that we there's a reverence for the things that Mother Earth provides for us, right? It's like
Yes. Yes.
everything, yeah, it's like sourced from her, and it feels like crummy to have to
Yeah.
throw things away, and it's disposable, as if it's disposable. Yeah,
Like I won't even throw out when flowers die. I won't even throw them in the garbage, which is what I used to do. Now I throw them out into the woods because somehow I feel like I'm putting it back.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so yeah, so I've gotten to a place where it's like, oh, it's so hard for me to throw something in the garbage. Like I wish I could find a way to give it another
Mm-hmm.
life. And someone suggested there are places that take fabric, and I know I've seen that. There's a place that comes here and will take everything you have because if it's not usable, if the clothes have holes in them, they somehow repurpose the fabric. So
Mm-hmm.
that is a great option. Like I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard of people before saying that they use old textile for like insulation.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's interesting, right? Like it's like how can we what are the ways that we will honor the life cycle?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I also just wanted to just share, okay, because oops, hit that bell. Because this is also going to bug me as well. So okay, so Nicola says, I know who I'd like to throw in the garbage, all my narcissistic neighbors. Yeah. Oh yeah, relationship that spark joy is also a big topic too. Okay, I am gonna do a live soon with Kareem. It hasn't materialized yet because he's kind of dangling this carrot in front of me. He's like, okay, if you can get back onto, like, I used to do my daily yoga, obviously meditate, and my water intake as well. He's like, if you can hit those daily trifecta, then I'll do the live with you. So the live that I wanted to do with Kareem, who is my husband, he's also an Insight Timer teacher here, is creating space for aligned love. So
Love that.
yeah, decluttering and creating
Can't
space
wait for
for
that one.
spark joy relationships. Yeah. Okay, I see you. SummaStar, you got your hand up.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you had talked about not giving away like the scarf or because it had a hole in it. And what I've done, because I have a hard time too, Violet 108, and giving things away, we have a lot of homeless people here in Dallas. So for instance, I have a top sheet. I have no idea where the bottom sheet is.
Yes.
So I'm putting it in a bag. I just went through some socks. They're too thin for me, but I really wouldn't want to give them to Goodwill, but
Right.
to a homeless person, they would greatly appreciate it. So I make a little bag, and literally almost every stop sign where I'm at, there's homeless people, or there's people living under bridges when you're going through Dallas. So, and I've done it before, just hand them a bag. So I'll give them that sheet, I'll give them the bag of socks, and just it's another way of joy checking. So just a suggestion too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful way. Yeah, to be able to just, give. And also you can be, and that's also part of being prepared, right? Like by having that ready. So it's not always like, oh, I have that thing in my house that I could give to them.
Yeah,
Right.
there's a place nearby. She does midnight runs where she goes out into New York City
Mhm.
and they prepare stuff ahead of time to bring to homeless people, meals and blankets and stuff like that. And she was looking for a couple of crock pots one day because she wanted to make, it was winter, she wanted to make beef stew. I have a crock pot that I've not used in like 3 years. And I said to her, you can keep it because, that made me feel good because otherwise I would leave it in my cabinet and it was just taking up space. I was never using it. So I ended up
Mm,
giving it to her. So stuff like that, I love being able to do, to just give it to a good
yeah,
home, in other words.
yeah, yeah. There's something really satisfying about it. It's almost like, matchmaking, or like you're finding that puzzle piece that fits.
Right, right.
Yeah. I'm also just folding here for people who, let me just see if I can, you can just see here too. And the way that we fold too is we always want it to be in like a rectangular fashion. So what I'm doing with my hand is just we're infusing it with love. So imagine these are ironing hands. And then when you're ironing your clothes with your hands, it's like, oh, just have like that little reflection. It's like, yes, these still spark joy. Right. And then so I fold it, and then it just becomes a nice little neat rectangle like this. Right. And then I'm going to put this here. So you can see actually, so the Marie Kondo's method is all about having it be able to stand up on its side. And then let's see what else I have in here, because I just grabbed these. This is my daughter's drawer. So I just fold that up again. And then you can see here how easy it is to just pop it in, right? And then she has a jumper here as well. She just stuffed it. So this is not the right category, but that's okay. Let's just fold it anyways. So we fold it in just like how you do in shops, right? Like you see, it's the arm. So we just go like that. And then again on the other side. So almost like it's having thirds, it's in thirds, because we are going to fold it in half. And then you can fold it again, or depends on the height. So I think for this instance, I'm going to do
Now, when I pack my weekend bag, I tend to roll my clothes as tight as I
yeah.
can. Do you suggest rolling or folding them like that? Which do you think?
So, okay, if you have space, rolling is absolutely fine, because rolling does end up using up more space.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
just
gonna
because
go
of
with folding then, because I need as much space as I can get.
yeah. And then, because, okay, I know you're going away for your weekend too. I love using packing cubes. I know we've talked about it a few times in other lives as well.
Yes, and I have packing cubes in one of my bags that I have not used. I need to open up that bag and take them out.
Yeah, yeah. So take that out, right? Because then that's your grab and go bag. Because you
Yeah.
can just keep like your spare, like you can have a allocated PJs, or even like a little wash bag with all the things that you need as well. So it just lives in your bag, ready to go every time that you're gonna go and visit your beautiful family. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it also just means that you're not running around. And then that means that you're saving your time and energy.
Yeah, I used
For
to stress myself out packing the night before, and it's nice to just have the bag ready to go. And I think, oh,
yeah.
tomorrow I'll just throw in my makeup bag and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, yeah. And then it's like, even if you have like, yeah, like sometimes some people, what they'll do is like they'll have their toiletry bag, right? Or they'll have
Yes.
like a spare makeup bag, living as well. Like, so many different ideas. Depends on like how much back stock you have
I
as
buy
well.
very expensive makeup, so I don't usually keep spares.
Yeah. Yeah, but if you have your bag ready to
Yeah,
go, you
yeah.
can just put it in,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Yeah.
And I actually have a little makeup bag that fits inside my weekend bag. So then I just, whatever I've used that morning, I throw it right in.
Yes, yeah. And it just makes it infinitely easier. And it's like, I also just wanted to share with people, you don't need to have purchase boxes, although they're nice. I really rate these as well. I really love these sorts of boxes because these go into your drawer.
Yeah.
You
I
can
need to
pull
do
them
that
out.
in my drawers. Yeah.
It makes a massive difference because it just creates that spatial constraint.
Right.
Right. So like even this is like an old laptop box, but my daughters, they love art and craft. So rather it being everywhere, then I just have like a box because they work on our dining table as well. This dining table hosts everything. So,
Yes.
they can just grab this and it's not going to be like, oh, I'm trying to hold like 5 different pencil cases. Things are falling over the place. So there's practical
I
aspects.
saw you do that with tea bags one day. I loved it, where you took them all out of their boxes and put them all together. And I did that because I had like I'm a coffee drinker, but I have a lot of tea, for different reasons. And I had no idea what teas I had because I had just boxes in my cabinet and I couldn't see what was in there.
Yeah, and that's annoying, right? And it's like when things are fumbling and it's also not kept as fresh too. I
Right.
mean, yeah, I'm happy to also give you guys a little, we can walk over since I'm in the kitchen anyways.
Yes, please, please. Oh, I love what you do in the kitchen because especially in the refrigerator, my refrigerator, things were all over the place and I've been trying to organize it better since watching you.
Oh, thank you so much. It makes such a huge difference. Like I would say, the kitchen. Okay, so the sexy categories of decluttering are like clothing and kitchen because those are your high traffic zones. So when you get those done, you're just like, yes, like I've had people come onto the lives and they'll be like, sometimes I just walk past my drawer, open it just so that I can feel happy.
Yes, yes, I love that. Yes. I did that in the kitchen one time. I took everything out of the cabinets and I rearranged it. And I was
Yeah.
so happy that I would just open it up and look at it and be like, look how beautiful this all looks.
Yeah, right. And that's literally it's visceral. It's visceral
Yeah.
because that's literally your nervous system calming, but you're also getting a hit of dopamine.
Yeah.
And so you're just like, yes, it's a mood booster. So I'm always harping on about like, yeah, guys, this is like a really underrated form of self-care.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It makes me think of Melanie talks about being mindful in the kitchen and the
Yes.
different things that you use. And I used to hate being in the kitchen and now I don't. And
Yeah.
recently bought myself like this gorgeous chef's knife
Oh,
because Melanie, I hope you're still here because I was thinking of you. Bought this
aw.
beautiful chef's knife and I use that thing every day. It's got this beautiful handle. And when I'm making my breakfast in the morning, like it just brings me so much joy. And I'm like, who would have thought something so small could change how you feel about your environment? It's amazing. Oh, hi, Fatima. I just saw you. Hello, another amazing teacher. Thank you for joining. Yes, Jessica, cutting my peppers in the morning. Mind you, Jessica, this knife is pretty big and it might be a little, over the top for the peppers that I'm chopping, but I just love this knife and I just enjoy doing it so much more because because I'm putting so much thought into it.
Yes. Oh, and I love how you brought that up, Violet, because everything is energy, right? So that's why like the intentional purchasing comes in because we can also reflect on like, oh, you know what? Like this was just poorly made. And then it goes back to the gratitude of like, thank you. I now learned that I want to be more intentional about my purchases and not get, not get sucked into, oh, like, oh, it's cheap. So I should
Yeah.
buy it. And so yeah, I'm the same with you. I have a chef's knife that my husband got for me, oh my gosh, like almost 20 years ago, and it just brings so much joy.
Right. And I would have never thought, like, I would have never, because I'm not a big, cook or I'm not in the kitchen a lot, would have never spent that much money on a knife. But what she said to me made so much sense. This is something that will last you forever. And like you could even give it to one of your kids as a like inheritance. And I thought, what a nice idea. And it really is a beautiful knife too. I love looking at it.
Yeah, I see Jen has unmuted us as well. So I wonder if you have some thoughts to share too, Jen.
Yeah, so I feel so good about what I just did. I'm just like sitting in it. Um, so energy work is like, that's where my heart is. And I feel like just the energy that I was able to clear out with getting rid of some of these things is fantastic. And I wanted to also mention that, Violet, I can really relate to you. Like, I grew up not having a lot of resources, not having a lot in general, and feeling that sense of lack. And one of the things that I struggle with is buying things that are high ticket items, because it's like, well, is this not the exact same thing that's, $10
Yes.
at Ross or whatever, like whatever it might be? And I really have trouble with that sometimes, but little by little, I have realized that the things that endure, not always, but where there's more like energetic investment and an investment in that piece, it a lot of times like it will be there longer. Like there's more
Yes.
durability. And yeah, so I was like, oh, I have an opinion here.
Yes, I love that. It's funny because this knife literally costs
Mhm.
probably as much as I used to like budget myself weekly for groceries when my kids were little.
Wow.
So, to make a purchase like that was huge for me, and to be able to do it and be like, "Oh, it's okay. I can do that now." It's like so freeing. It's such a good feeling.
Yes, I love that. Thanks so much for sharing, Jen, as well, because it really does clear
Mm.
our energy as well. It's like it's a renewal, and it actually is a source of sustainable energy, because a lot of times we end up thinking like, oh, I do this, and this is gonna boost me up. But it's like actually it's living right in our own homes. Like it means is we're not adding more, we're actually subtracting to
Mhm.
create more energy.
Yeah.
And I also loved what you had. Yeah, I mean, this is also why we're doing this, because it is that form of self-care, especially when we are teaching and giving as well.
Mhm.
Like, we also have to remember to take care of ourselves. And if the space is not supporting us, if we open the drawer and it's like creating cortisol levels rising up, then it's going to become like an energy drainer. Like little drip by drip, it actually will make us feel more tired.
Yeah.
So then this is where we supercharge it, right? Like my husband actually wanted me to like show you guys too. So these are like the bin bags. It
Mhm.
comes with like those big massive rolls.
Yeah.
So instead of ripping it, because sometimes it can be like a little bit finicky to rip off. So he just takes like, like 5 to 10 minutes, and then he just folds them up like that.
Wow.
And then
Love
so
that.
when you do change out the bin, which happens quite frequently, it's just like you're literally saving those seconds and minutes, and then not trying to grab things from all over the place, like things are falling off on top as well. So that's just, and then again, you can it's a file folding method. It's just a repurposed box, because I saw that somebody had asked in here as well about you can buy purchase boxes, but you don't have to shop from your own home. Use let's see, a shoebox. A shoebox is fun. You can just cut this off, and then this becomes, you can file fold your clothing items, or you can store other things into it.
SummaStar just pointed out that we're hearing an echo. I don't know if someone has maybe the live playing in the background. Maybe that's what the echo is. I'm not sure. I hear it. I hear it too.
Oh, I think, are we okay now?
Yes, we're okay now.
Okay, yeah, another little glitch as well. Okay, so thanks so much, guys, for bearing with it. Okay, so trousers. I do not, Nicola had asked about trousers, and I also want to celebrate. Nicola was sharing about how she moved from London to Durham, and she gave away 6 sacks fulls of clothes and got rid of more, but still moved with 7 suitcases and 7 boxes of clothes. Marie Kondo method. I love that. Thank you so much. And that's it. There's something to be said about knowing you can move with ease. you know, like, and for anyone who is moving, this is another tip as well. Just start decluttering. It's not only going to save you time and energy, but potentially also money, because you're bringing less with you to your new home. And energetically speaking, you're being really intentional about the energy that you want to bring into the new chapter of your life. So I know Jen had also mentioned as well that you were planning on moving, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, it got waylaid a little bit, but I'm still kind of in that zone where I'm like, okay, everything is prep, and I feel like a lot of transition right now. I mean, I just feel like it's palpable. So this is a really good step for that.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Yeah.
ask you something as you were talking though, because it sounds so like I feel like these patterns show up in our lives, right? Like where we, at least for me, like I'll maybe put things like here, 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 and here, and just getting into that sort of mode of doing folding all of the bags at once or doing something all at once, and then it being just that much easier, to remember later. Like, do you feel like that kind of is a outgrowth of like just being like online and like all the pop-ups and the phone dings and like all of the things? I mean, do you think that this also translates to that stuff too? Like beyond email, but like
Oh, that's such a great question, Jen. And um, I'm just going to ask you, yeah, perfect, mute, so that the echo will be minimized. And also for anyone who is decluttering, we have 5 more minutes of the sprint, okay? And the question is so great because so clutter has actually a relationship with our online, our other behaviors as well. So when you see clutter, it will actually trigger coping mechanisms like binge eating, mindless scrolling, binge watching. So this is what this is, and then it becomes like a rinse, wash, repeat cycle as well, because you might be exhausted and then you come home and then it's cluttered, you feel really tired. And then you're like, okay, I just want to plop on my sofa and just do like mindless scrolling or watching, eating junk. That doesn't really serve me. It impacts your sleep and your physical body as well. And then you might be also making purchases. So that means more stuff's coming into the house. So then the cycle needs to break, right? And this is also why I'm obsessed with this method, because typically this is a way for us to get away from the screen. I know we're doing it on the screen today, but it is a way for us to just be able to short circuit the addictive nature and the pervasive. It's like we can't get away from it, but we can actually create space around it. So it becomes like, hey, I'm gonna be, mindfully folding my laundry, right? This is like it's not a complete live unless I show my husband's underwear drawer. So I always show this. I'm like, yeah, imagine, like, so it can become really joyful. It's like fold a little burrito like this.
I
And
love it.
yeah. So then it's like you can short circuit the patterns by decluttering, creating those spaces and the zones as well. And then it becomes like, and then you end up being able to train up the muscle memory. So you can get into an alpha state of mind, even when you're doing the basic everyday tasks, because you know where everything is. Like even making a cup of tea, it's just like here, here, here. It's like you're using the least amount of energy to get that task done and to complete it. But on the other hand, if everything is everywhere, like even doing laundry, if everything is everywhere, it's not easy to get out your laundry detergent or to put the clothes in, etc. Then it's stressful, right? You're not going to enjoy it. So Thich Nhat Hanh says that the feeling that a task is a nuisance will soon disappear when it's done in mindfulness. And we can infuse that mindfulness into every single day.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah, Cecilia says you always show his underwear. I'm like, it's the easiest thing for me to grab. That's why.
Yeah, I was telling my husband about how you fold underwear. I'm like, you've got to see the way she folds underwear. It's amazing.
Yeah,
He's a good folder. I'm not.
Oh yeah, you should show him. I'll tag you on the video too, and then you can
Yes.
show him, because
Yes.
it's actually so fun and it's so cute as well. You're just like, oh, I actually get people saying that all the time. They're like, Rebecca, I'm still folding it exactly the way that you showed.
I've been
Okay.
doing it, Rebecca. Rebecca. I'm putting it in my
Yeah,
little over the door holder for my underwear,
yeah,
but now they're smaller, so I made more
yeah.
space.
Yes, amazing. And then I also wanted to address, yeah, Nicola as well, who had shared, I had a divorce. I got rid of all the clothes from a toxic marriage. So well done to you, because you are getting rid of that energy, right, as well. And creating space for a new. But the catalyst as well is to do it with gratitude, even if it was a really, really challenging time. It's being able to reflect on, thank you so much. You've taught me what my boundaries are. Thank you so much. I now know what green flags look like in a relationship and what red flags are. So this always goes back to gratitude, because if we let things go with resentment, with shame, with anger, you might be getting rid of that physical item, but you're storing those emotions will be trapped inside of you. So we got to also let those rest too.
I have a question on that one. When I divorced my first husband, obviously I kept a lot of the pictures.
Yeah.
And in the basement of the house that I now share with my current husband is my first wedding album, which I'm having a hard time letting go of because there's a lot of family people, pictures in there who have
Mhm.
passed. And obviously I don't want to get rid of those photos, but I'm like, but what do I do? It's weird having my wedding album from my first marriage in the house that I share with my current husband.
Yeah.
He doesn't care, but I'm thinking I probably should do something with it.
Yeah, I wonder, like it's also just being able to sit in the stillness, and also your beautiful journaling prompts as well. It's also just thinking about, how what feels right to be able to honor those people who have passed. If it's something like, oh, I really want to keep this photo, like, would it look like, oh, making a collage, cutting around it?
Right, right. Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then like, what would you do with the remainder of the photos?
Yeah, that's the thing too. It's like, what do I do with the remainder of the photos? Do I toss
Mhm.
pictures of him into a fire pit? Like I don't have any hostility towards him. And sadly he passed away 2 years ago as well. So I
Yeah.
don't, and then I think like, I don't know, do my kids want them? I don't think they do. It's weird. I
Mm.
just don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, and you can ask them. I think like, asking them actually a lot of times it gives you permission to decide what you want to do. They'll probably be like, "Mom, I have zero interest." And
I
you're
I know, I know they will say no.
and it's just like, okay, then that just it's the process of elimination. It's like, okay, that's not someone that I would send it to. And then sometimes it's also some people do different ways around it, right? Like some people go through like a burning ritual as well, just to honor. And there's many ways around it. So it depends on like what feels right to you.
Right. And I have this collection of precious moments too that back in the day, I don't know, I
Yes.
don't want to date myself, but
Yes.
a lot of people know back in the day, precious moments were a big deal. And
Yeah.
I acquired a lot of those pieces while we were married. A lot of them were wedding
Mm,
related or
yeah.
engagement related, first baby. And I'm like, they're all sitting in boxes. What do I do with these things? They're also in my basement.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's deciding. It's like, if I had space, do I want to display them? Or
Maybe a few, but probably not because, again, precious moments they're not a thing anymore. So it's like I'm over it now. Back then I
yeah.
enjoyed them. Now I'm like, eh,
Yeah. Yeah. I think you've answered the question, right?
I
So it's
did.
yes.
Yeah, I had precious moments too. Don't feel bad. I got rid of them when I moved.
Okay, good, good.
Yes.
Well, think of it as Violet, you're creating more space for Crystal Baby.
Crystals,
Crystal.
which is what's covering the house now.
I
Yes.
love that. Okay, so we are at time for the sprint. So how is everyone feeling? And I also see some comments here. Cecilia, file folding color camis. Susie, file loving folding underwear since you showed me how to. Yeah.
I love what Stephanie said. I'm very mindful about not letting go of things with negativity. If I'm not ready, I'm not ready. Yeah, that's good.
Yes, absolutely. And Stephanie, that is so true, because you have to be able to honor yourself and also hold yourself accountable. It's like, hey, I'm gonna check this. I'm gonna check in on this like in 3 months' time, and this is how you empower yourself with the decisions too. And
I love the idea of checking up on things in 3 months' time. Do you actually put it on your calendar? That's my question.
Well, I think because you can, if you want it to become a practice. I think for me, because it's becomes like so ingrained as
Because
well.
someone like me 3 months from now would be in 3 years because I would
Yeah, yeah.
forget.
Yeah, put it in your calendar. Like I love having visual reminders because I am like I'm neurodivergent, you know, so I need to have visual prompts.
Me too.
Yeah, so that's why I have like so many post-its and everything. I have like my digital list as well. So it's about creating space, creating a space for systems that work for you. Yeah. Okay, so let me just see. Okay, and just hearing how everyone has done. Yes, so
I'll
Robin,
share if you don't
I'm
mind,
sorry. Yeah.
because I may have to jump off soon.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I was able to get rid of, dun, 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 let me see if I can turn this around. 14 jackets or coats. So this bag
Wow.
is going away.
I need to
And I
do that.
clear the bed off because a lot of my challenges usually I'll start these little things and shush them because I'm like, oh, I'm so proud of myself. I can finish it after a long break, like a day or two. And so yeah, I was able to bag up at least 14 or 15 jackets, sweaters, coats. I'm gonna share them with I have an exit, as Rebecca taught me to call it. I've a couple of friends that will just take all my stuff, so I'm lucky. Um, and I was able to put everything else back in the closet. So now I can leave after the Zoom and enjoy the rest of my day.
Awesome.
Thanks
Yes.
everyone for your support.
All about the mindful exit plan, and so happy to see SummaStar in the flesh as well. It's like your debut on Insight Timer as well. So thank you for being so open to decluttering live with us too. And Caitlin, you're next.
I did good. So I even found the promotions folder and I emptied that sucker out. I'm like, I don't need any of you. So I emptied all those guys. And then I cleared the main inbox from over 1,500 emails total to under 5. So we're on a roll.
Wow, that is so good. That is amazing.
Going back to emails I had from like 23. I'm like, I didn't open you. I definitely don't need you. Click, click, click.
Oh, that is inspiring me so much. Okay, guys, going from 1,500 email down to 5. For anyone who is struggling with a bursting inbox, you got this. Caitlin has just inspired us all. And Samantha.
Yeah, I did really well too. I have so many things to donate here. I mean, I have let me see it. Yeah. Well, I think it's blurred right now, but there is bags in here with like things in boxes. I think this is like a little waffle maker that I've never even used, and like a bike pump, and I don't even have a bike anymore, and just like coats and lots of other bags and like a bike helmet. And then I even have this old computer, which I know probably can't be used, but our apartment is actually having a Earth Day that takes all this stuff for I think another week. So it's great that I found it right now so that I can do good for Earth Day as well.
Oh, I love the
Awesome.
alignment. Oh, that's so good. I love that so much. And especially when you're like, I know exactly where to donate it. And for guys, when you get it out and do the drop off as well, take a moment to just savor that lightness, the dopamine as well, and that physical lightness because you're removing something, right? It's very symbolic too, of like you're letting go, you're shedding, but you feel it viscerally. Yeah.
Hey, Samantha, I wanted to say one thing. I had two computers I took to my IT friend because I wanted her to wipe them because they no longer work. And they were so old, like we couldn't get into it. So she just suggested I take the back off and take the inside out or break the back. So that way you're still donating it and getting rid of it, but you don't want any of your personal stuff in there. Just a heads up. I don't know if you had stuff on there or not.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks so much, Robin, for that. SummaStar for the hot tip too. And last but not least, Jen.
Yeah, so I can't drag these bags back into my room
Yeah.
because they're so heavy. I probably have more. But I have at least two really big bags full of clothes, and there's a beautiful nonprofit here in Ohio that donates clothes to homeless youth and young adults. And so I'm going to try there first, and then they usually redonate if they can't, if they're, the things don't get picked up. So I'm very excited about that, and I'm going to stop by there this week. So thank you so much, Rebecca.
And Rebecca, I want to point out that once again, this is our second time doing this, and once again, we're getting requests to repeat it. So we're going to definitely have to talk about that
Oh yeah.
because these sessions are great. I love them. I get so much out of them.
Yeah.
And after the first one, everyone wanted another one. So this was our second one, and I see from the comments we're going to have a third.
Yeah, definitely. And it's always so much fun, right? As well.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful. Also, we wouldn't be able to do this without the amazing community and also the incredible teachers. And this was our first time inviting people from the audience into.
I think next time we should do that again too.
Yeah. So for anyone who feels like you're like, oh, I want to do this as well, like live, and you want to be on the camera too, please feel free to reach out to, yes. Oh, Cecilia says she can come next time. Yeah, totally. Yeah. So for
Yes,
anyone.
Cecilia was one of the first
Mhm.
people that did one of these with us when Jude and I used to do vision boards.
Yes. Oh, and then Stephanie Wheeler, we're getting a request for Stephanie Wheeler to be on too. And Nicola says I could do this too. Yeah. So yeah, Violet, maybe you can pop in like in your group. So Violet has a group here on Insight Timer as well. So maybe you'll be able to share some instructions of that.
Yes, absolutely. It's called
Yeah.
Ask Your Guides, or
Mhm.
send me a message and I can, you know, share ways that you can contact me. Obviously, I can't say here right now.
Yes.
But if you look at the link in my teacher's profile, everything is there. Everything will lead you to how you can get in touch with me and let us know. Time-wise, probably this time would be the best for me because it works for my schedule and Rebecca's. My weekends lately, as I said, are really booked with my trips to Pennsylvania, but I'm trying to keep at least one weekend a month where I can do these different themed lives. We've got a bunch of other requests for stuff, so I love doing them. So yeah, absolutely. This is a
So
good,
yeah,
yeah.
a massive thank you to Violet as well for holding space for
Yes,
all of
thank
us.
you,
And it's
Violet.
always so much fun to meet other Insight Timer teachers too. I can't wait to check out your work, Jen and Samantha and Caitlin, for anyone who is, obsessed with crafting and crocheting too. And yeah, big thank you to the Oprah of Insight Timer, aka Violet.
Thank you. Yeah, if before we go, if the teachers that are with us want to let people know when they're going live, what courses, tracks, anything that they want to share. And Rebecca, definitely, before we end, let people know where they can see you during the week, because someone had asked about that. And I mentioned that you do have lives during the week as well. Um, thank you, Cecilia. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. I'm a tech geek. I'm not a yoga teacher or, my expertise, I will always admit, is with technology, and I love using it for this purpose. So I'm happy to do it. So, Jen, let's start with you. Do you want to share with us what you've got going on when you go live?
Yeah, absolutely. So I usually go live once a month. I do have two lives coming up in May, one about creative resilience, and then a moving meditation, Qigong practice, along with a meditation. And a lot of my meditations on Insight Timer are visualizations. And because I teach leadership for my day job, I weave in a lot of the work psych into my work. And so you get a little bit of everything. But I'd love to connect with folks. Absolutely. And thank you again, Rebecca and Violet. Thank you so much.
Awesome. And Samantha.
Yeah, hi everybody. So yeah, I usually go live once a week, and so I will be going live again tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern for my meditation. So I hope you guys can join me sometime. Also, I just recently released a course for anybody that has the courses that they can access. It's called Advanced Meditation, Deep Cleansing for Your Nervous System. And so I have some other courses too, if you want to check them out on my profile, and feel free to jump into any of those courses and say hi. I'd love to hear from you. So thanks for joining us today, everyone.
Wonderful. I'm glad you mentioned that course because it popped up for me yesterday, I think, and I was like, oh, I have to do this. I
Oh,
love
great.
Samantha's voice. It's so soothing. You know, it's so there's certain teachers that when I hear them talk, I'm like, I don't even care what you're saying. It's just so soothing. I mean, I do care what you're saying. I do love your courses, but I love her voice as well. And my friend Caitlin, do you want to share?
Sure. So I have this one track about combining crochet and meditation, and I have a lot of affirmation tracks. I have the chakra series. It's really cool. I have a set with intros. So if you're newer to meditation, it brings you through the breathing and everything. And then I have another set, which is just the affirmation. So if you're ready to get to work and just hear those good phrases, just listen to those. And then I have a couple crochet circles coming up this week. So I have one on Monday, tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. And then my normal day is Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern and 3 p.m. Eastern. So
And
hopefully I'll see some
I
new
just
friends.
wanted to add, you don't need to crochet during her crochet circles. I go and I listen while I'm working, and I just, you know, it's like these are my coworkers. I'm working remotely. I hear them talking. I go over to the water cooler, see what they're doing. We hang out, we chat.
Yes.
So they're a lot of fun.
Thank you,
And
Violet.
and SummaStar, I want to thank you for joining us and being so brave. I would normally ask you to share what you've got going on, but since you're not a teacher yet, I don't know if you're planning on becoming one.
No, I like to follow and listen.
I did that for years. I loved it, but I wanted to get involved, and I'm so glad that I did because I love doing these. So Rebecca, we're gonna turn over to you, and you've got a lot of stuff going on, so share.
Oh, yeah, thank you so much. I do the live decluttering once a week. I need to set up the new schedule though, so keep stay tuned for that. I'm kind of juggling things around as well, and I do a lot of things off of Insight Timer as well. So for anyone who is interested, or if you need to get the free resources as well, it's the link in my teacher profile. So that should be able to guide you to all the things that you need to.
And so you can find the teachers easily. I add their link to the link in my teacher's profile because I know sometimes it's hard with these tiny little, you know, if you're on your phone, you can barely see anybody's names right now. I do put them in the chat as well. But if you have a hard time finding anybody, just send me a message too. I'm happy to help you all connect. And I did want to add that in May, I've got a couple of little mini vacations going on, so I'm not going to be as active in May. So we will plan a third one, but it's probably going to
Yes.
be later in the summer because you know, my birthday's coming up. My puppy's going to be 2 on my birthday, and I've got all these little family vacations plans with the grandbabies and my kids. So May is already like booked up for me, but we'll definitely be back.
Yes, enjoy life and everything that it has to offer you, Violet, and your birth month celebration too.
Yes,
So
love it.
for people who made it this far, sorry that it went overtime too, and so grateful. Yeah.
Oh, Nicola, my birthday is actually May 28th. I'm going to be 60. Normally, I wouldn't have said that, but I decided I'm at an age where I am embracing and loving who I am. So it's a big one, and we've got some big family celebrations planned, and I'm very excited. And my rescue puppy happens to have been born on my birthday. He's going to be 2. So
Awesome.
he gets to come with us. We've got one at a beach, one at a lake. You know, I'm beside myself. I can't wait.
Good. Enjoy. You deserve it.
Thank you so
You
much.
absolutely deserve
Thank
it.
you.